between people that's actually woke, people that's sleepwalking, and people that's sheep for real. Now, when it comes to being woke, that means you fully understand the world for what it really is, not for what they tell you that it is and what they want you to believe it is. But when it comes to sleepwalkers, a lot of those people take advantage, but at the same time, they do know a lot. And then you got the sheep, which is pretty much the bottom. They don't think for themselves at all. They believe whatever's written down in the book at school or in the church or whatever. But this is the thing, man. When it comes to the sleepwalkers and the sheep, they still able to pick and choose when right is wrong or whatever. And that's why we still got problems. And this shit actually get deep when you think about it, because that's just one aspect of it. A lot of the people that's woke, they know for a fact, and y'all might not agree with this, but the woke people really know you're not supposed to eat animals. Now, all of the woke motherfuckers know that shit for a fact. But when it comes to sleepwalkers and sheep, for real, when your Bible tell you that it's okay, like, most people think it's normal. When your parents feed you this shit, people think it's normal, but it's not. And one thing I noticed about sleepwalkers, though, a lot of them are the rich people, a lot of rich and successful people. Do y'all know how they tell you, be the change you want to see, but then some of the people just go pray instead? A lot of the people that's sleepwalkers, they believe in themselves, and they not gonna really pray. Even if they believe in God, they not gonna really pray. They just gonna go out there and make shit happen. That's kind of like the slave masters did to black people or to anybody that enslaved. You know, convince people that they gotta pray your way out of it. But they was really just taking advantage of their free will. You see the difference? Sleepwalkers take advantage of their free will. Sheep most definitely pray. And that's the thing, man. So if I had to put myself in a category, I would say, I don't know. You know what I think? I think people that become woke for real, like the real definition of woke, like motherfuckers who actually know shit, I think those people, because I'm thinking about myself, right? We was kind of always never going to be either one, because I did believe in a religion shit, but I would always question stuff in my head, and it would be the fear of hell that would make me stop questioning that shit, which made me realize, yeah, basically, you were definitely right, which made me realize, though, I'm thinking about hell in my head. This is keeping me from questioning stuff, which is why they say the mind is a powerful thing, because you afraid of what? Your own thoughts about God or the devil. That shit is not real. But then I realized at some point I stopped believing in all that bullshit. Once you really find out who God is, that's when everything fucking changed. And that's what happened to me pretty much when I was 27. I turned 27. I'm 33 now. And I've been saying the same shit that I be saying on my lives and on my TikToks and all that shit. I've been saying the same thing. And nobody was listening. Matter of fact, my most recent video got almost 4 million views. Like, that's the first time I ever got that many views without, like, TikTok being on some bullshit and trying to ban my shit. But like I'm saying, it's just crazy how the world is. When you realize it's different levels of people out here, most of the people are sheep for real. I was just I was posting something about God and stuff, and this lady was like, well, the Bible says you're supposed to do this. And I'm like, you see what I'm talking about? That's programming right there. The Bible say you're supposed to do this. We basically robots. And they got a defense mechanism, you know. All the other robots make you feel like you're gonna go to hell because you don't believe in this bullshit. In reality, you can just turn on the news and you see people in hell. But yeah, and then so like a lot of the sheep, I mean, a lot of the sleepwalkers, the good thing, I mean, a lot of the sheep, I mean, they pretty much, you're not always gonna be like that. A lot of the times people grow up as they get older, you know, you start to learn more. But it's not like it's people's fault that it's like this. This is the plan, man. Like I said, when I used to question shit when I was like 18 and shit, I used to get scared. Like, I'm sorry, God, I'll never question it again. I don't want to go to hell. And I'm like, what am I? And I just stopped talking about it. But then I got to the point when I realized who God really was, and I knew for a fact that this was the real thing, because it's like a voice started coming in my head, but it's your own voice. because God is what gives us life, right? So when you realize if God is life, that means life is God. So we really talk to God. We talking to ourselves. You think about it. So what happens is when you finally meet God, your own voice start talking in your head, and the first thing that pop in your head, I guarantee you this is a fact. For anybody who finally realize who God is, the first thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna be reminded of whatever you do to contribute to this world being fucked up. So for me, it was eating animals. The first thing that popped in my head on everything I love, you gotta stop eating animals. When I first found out what God was, I was listening to this video, and I'm gonna explain that later. But the first thing that popped in my head was the worst thing that I do, which is crazy as hell. You gotta stop eating animals. And it took like 3 years before I actually stopped for real. But what made it so real for me is like, all right, now, because it's like God is like really testing you now, because it's in my ear, and it's like, how real are you for real? Do you really believe in God? What is God? You got to know what you believe in, right? Well, God is life. This is what everybody agree with, no matter what religion they, whatever religion they worship, they believe that God is life. So, like I said, if God is life, then life is God. So if God is the creator of life, how you feel about God is how you treat the life that God created. So I was like, damn, this is why that popped in my head. You got to stop eating animals, right? When you see something alive, and I still got this problem, I can be real enough to admit that. When it comes to like insects and stuff, especially mosquitoes, when they trying to bite you, like I still go for the swing. I'm trying to unlearn that behavior, because when you realize though that life is happening, when you see these things, when you see life around you, it's happening. And God created this. We all know this. We all pretend to believe in it, right? So imagine what you would have to be to go against that. I see something moving and I want to step on it so it don't move no more. What is the only thing in the world that goes against God? Man, I'm gonna tell them something for real. I'm gonna tell them something they gonna have to learn today. But for real, if God is the creator of life, what is the only thing that goes against God? The devil, right? So it's amazing how we don't realize that's who we really are. We really the devils. That's why they say the devil hide in plain sight. How? How can it hide in plain sight? Because it's the humans that don't think they the devil for real. That's what having free will is. That's why they say heaven is on earth and hell is on earth. It's a combination of people using their free will of good and bad. We see it all the time. The news tell us too. So you know it ain't no lie. History tell us. You hear about all the good stuff just like you hear about all the bad stuff. Because heaven is on earth and hell is on earth. And they want us to believe that it's afterlife, because that's the only way they can get justice for the good and bad that happened. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So they'll rob you of what you're supposed to have while you're alive and say, well, you will get it in God's kingdom after you die. That's the dumbest shit in the world. But then they say, well, we couldn't catch Hitler. He unalived himself. So don't worry, he'll burn in hell for it. No, unfortunately, he didn't go to hell. He just created hell for people. Right? You don't get to go to heaven. You just get to live in heaven on earth. But this is why people will steal, rob, and unalive for it, because they want it. And it's been taken away from them too. When you realize the world's problems is based on insecurities, right? All of the stuff that we have, everybody can have. It wouldn't mean nothing if I couldn't feel like I was better than you because I got it and you don't. And that's what it's really about. That's why they created class systems. People will actually think they top tier, for real. You heard people say that before? I'm top tier. You not on my level. Like you not on my class, or whatever they be saying. People be saying the crazy shit. Well, let's talk about it then. What are the classes? And this is kind of a matrix thing too, right? It's levels to the matrix, but they create classes, and to really make the matrix more effective. So they use race, pretty much skin color, and then they use education, and then they use money. Well, they use looks, and then they use money. See what I'm saying? When somebody say you not on my level, I'm top tier or whatever, you would think that they saying good people or bad people, but nope, that's not it. That don't matter. You can be a shitty motherfucker and be top tier, or high value, as they say. A high value man and woman. These motherfuckers is crazy out here. But think about it. When they say I'm top tier, they either got a better education than you, they either think they look better than you, they either think they skin color make them better than you, or they think that because they got money and you don't, that they better than you. But what happens when y'all both got all of the same shit. Now what do? You gotta find something else to make yourself feel important. But that's the thing, man. None of this shit matter. And especially when we brag about stuff that can change overnight, right? You got an education, you can become brain dead, and now you don't know shit. You look good, you can be a model, but then you get in an accident, and now that's all over. You got a lot of money, you can go broke, right? It's a lot of stuff. It's you racist, but then your daughter or your son like black women or black men. And that's how it go. Or you don't like the LGBTQ community, and now that's how your son or your daughter is. This is how the world pays us back for all of the evil that we do and think it's going unnoticed. When they try to tell us they gonna ban TikTok. You see why I'm on live right here? Now I ain't gonna lie, that's not why I'm on live. I really just want to build my YouTube for real. The same way I build my TikTok. But look, they talking about banning TikTok, y'all, right? And I was just looking at the shit, and these motherfuckers old as hell. Old ass motherfuckers, damn near on their deathbed, deciding if TikTok is gonna be banned or not. Like, who the fuck? Like, that's what made me so mad, man. It'd be hard trying to preach to people about the fact that we shouldn't be voting. They don't want to listen, man. No, you sound crazy. They want us to think like that. They want you to think like that, motherfucker. They want you to think that your vote actually means something. I tell people all the time, thinking that your vote matter is like playing a game with your older cousin, but they give you the controller that's not plugged in because it's a single player game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's happening, but my live acting stupid. But yeah, the kid want to play the game because they see me playing, and it's like, they ain't gonna give up. You know how it is. So I get them the controller that's not plugged in, and it worked for a little bit. But I'm like, damn. They finally realized that light wasn't on like mine was on. Like, wait a minute, why your light on but mine ain't on? Some ain't the same. No, I want the one with the light on. And that didn't all. A lot of the kids, they would just really think they was playing, and you can get away with that shit. But it's different now, man. And I didn't even think about that shit until years later. Matter of fact, just now, recently, just this year, I started thinking about that, or maybe last year at the end of it. But when this happened, this was like 10, 15 years ago, probably. Playing a game with kids, and you get them the controller that the light ain't on, and they finally realize that they not really playing. That's what. See, they keep trying to disconnect. It keep disconnecting. What kind of bullshit is that? But like I was saying before, these motherfuckers out here don't understand that religion is fake, because we live in a world where they try to make you think that your vote matter. But I've been alive long enough to see that it don't. The things that matter the most are not being taken care of. The education is based off of the zip code. They don't pay the teachers enough to actually convince somebody like me that education means anything. It don't mean nothing. It's a daycare, literally. It's a mandatory brainwashing facility that you gotta send your kids to once you sign those documents, what is a birth certificate or a social security card or whatever. But like I was saying, your vote don't matter, and I know this for a fact because it's still hungry and homeless children out here. It's all these people starving, don't got nowhere to live, but they can send $1 billion trillion to Israel while they blowing up children, using the money to create more weapons. I know the shit ain't real. It don't mean nothing. The vote don't mean nothing. The religion that the governments teach the people don't mean nothing. And when people gonna learn that shit? It's all connected too. Think about it. Your vote don't mean shit because it's connected to your government. Your Bible don't mean shit because it's connected to your government. Your education don't mean shit because it's connected to your government. Your money don't mean shit because it's connected to your government. Everything connected to this motherfucker don't mean a damn thing. Y'all need to understand, what matters to God is what God gave us. That's what God thought mattered the most. The earth and the life on it. And I was just thinking about something, and I'm glad I'm doing this live right now. This is probably gonna be a good one. I was thinking about this when I was driving from work. People talk about the greatest of all time. That shit ain't a real thing. Ain't no such thing as that, because time never stopped. So if you really want to know who the greatest was, you will have to really be on the last day of earth. And I guarantee you, nobody in the world will be thinking about who the greatest of all time was. That's the last thing you'll be thinking about. In fact, What's the most important thing in the world is what everybody would be doing with their last moments if it was the end of the world. And what would that be? Oh, I would be with my family. I would be doing this and that. Yeah, but then you realize why you alive, because you know the world ain't gonna just end like that. We take that shit for granted. We out here trying to do everything but what we really value deep down. But you know, whatever this is, it don't feel like it. No, you value it like you say you do. It don't feel like it, because we all out here trying to chase something because it was taken away from us. Something so simple. What is your passion? They tell you got to figure out what you want to do. You think a caterpillar got to figure out they want to be a butterfly? Right? It's a bunch of different kinds too. Like, you be whatever you want to be, for real. Think a caterpillar can be told that it ain't going to be a butterfly? That will never happen. It's always going to be determined, dedicated, never distracted. And these are the things that can hold us back in life. Matter of fact, they do hold us back. Doubt, distraction, disability, and death. That's the only real thing. Death and disability. Even disability can't really stop you, but you see what I'm saying though, right? Where do you get these things from? They got to be put into you. Somebody got to put this in your head that you can doubt yourself. Like, what? Caterpillar believe it's gonna be a butterfly? You don't believe you're gonna be nothing? But you think you better than that caterpillar though, don't you, right? You think you better than that butterfly. Your life is so much better. That's what you would think in your head, right? You don't believe in yourself like the caterpillar believe in itself. What does that say though? If God created the caterpillar like it created you, don't that mean you can become something? What we value is things that God created, but we made it into what we think is more important than what God actually made itself. So the money, it's nothing but a tree. I want fancy furniture and a fancy house. Nothing but a tree. Think about it though. Or even if it's the cement, whatever you using to create this house, God created it, right? And it became what you think is more important than yourself. And we can't act like that's not the case. That's why you would unalive somebody for some material bullshit, for some money, for an opportunity. So you ask yourself, God did create all these things that we turn into stuff that we think is more important than ourselves. But if God created these things that can become something that's so important to us, then why come we don't focus on doing that? You see what I'm saying? We more focus on getting the material things that we created than becoming something that's much greater than those things. But because it's a distraction out here, they got people out here believing you're not gonna make it. Everybody not gonna be a boss. The probabilities is nobody want to hear that dumb shit. That's why people like me start to make a difference. The time is up. We ain't listening to nobody doubt no more. Especially when you really know who God is. Like, come on, if you really knew God for real, you would never, doubt wouldn't even be a part of your vocabulary. You would feel stupid to even talk about it, to even think about it. I'm gonna take a sip of water right now, y'all. So bear with me for this live. You know what's crazy? That water definitely life, man. I was talking to my friend one time on the game, and we was like, damn, water don't got no taste. But you know what? It kind of do have a taste, but you can't really describe it without the feel. And he was like, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like life. Have you ever heard somebody say some shit like that? And not only do it taste like life, but it feel like life. It make you feel alive when you drink water. People be so satisfied, like, oh my God, like God, everybody need this. I just seen a runaway cat. I won't even call it a stray cat. We call it that because we fucking steal and capture everything and enslave it and call it pets. But it was an animal outside, right? And it wanted some water. And it was following me around, so I got it some water. And I was thinking about like how fast it started drinking. And I was thinking like, that's life right there. But you know what else happened? Last night, this cat was hungry, right? And it was a bunch of them that just popped out of nowhere. I'm like, damn, how much of the resources are we taking to the point where they following me around? The cats don't like nobody. But then think about this. I'm looking at this cat and I'm like, wait a minute. See, I know better than most people that God is life, which means that life is God. This cat is sitting there and it wants something to eat. And it's talking more than most cats would ever talk. And it's just constantly going on, like meow, meow, meow. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is God really talking to me right now. Asking for all, you know, God created all the food we need on earth. How far do you have to go to get it? Now, because we took all the resources, it's harder for the animals. That's why the cats and dogs be out there hungry when they don't have humans, especially when you domesticate them and then you just leave them hanging, you kick them out and shit. But we taking all the resources. Why can I go to the fucking cat store? Even this shit is probably man-made, so this is probably not a good example. But all of the animal food is in the store. They want you to pay for it. The fuck? Cause we that dumb. Well, you pay for your shit. I know they love the animals enough. They'll pay for it. The animals, they dookie and shit. They don't need us. We just got that fucking slave master mentality. It was a thing with the dog. I was telling people how we treat our dog like they got on leashes and shit, and they get in cages or chained up. Pretty much the same shit, you know. And then you consider yourself the owner. Yeah, people was mad as hell. Don't be mad because the truth hurt. I don't have a problem with recognizing that I'm a problem because that's not who I want to be. That's not my intentions. And everybody not perfect, especially the way the world trained us to be. So when somebody trying to correct you, don't take that shit personal. But I learned that shit don't matter. My whole TikTok for the first year that I was on there, I was getting banned all the time, flagged for harassment and bullying, because I'm calling out people who harass. And what my girl told me more than a few times, you know, you gotta just try to find a way to tell these people, you know, kill them with kindness, basically. Make it so you can't help but to be like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? And even sometimes people still do that. That's why my most recent video got like almost 4 million. That wasn't happening back then. The video would get banned before it get to 1 million. That's just what it was. Now we trying to do stuff a different way. So since we on the subject, we gonna go back to the whole woke versus sleepwalking and shit. I can't even get my fucking words right. But right now I want to talk about that video that's going making all type of content. But this right here, for y'all that's been in here, the one of y'all, two of y'all, this shit right here, I've been on here for almost 25 minutes because I'm finna start being serious about this. I'm really trying to build talk, but them motherfuckers ban my shit whenever they feel like it. Matter of fact, I just had I got my shit monetized now, but one of my videos, they like, oh yeah, we see smoke around, and even though tobacco and whatever is legal, we don't want it being promoted. Like, y'all got, I ain't gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. Cause I don't even want you two to get on my wrong side either. But yeah, man, I'm really trying to go live on here for real. So eventually it's gonna be cracking. Eventually the same amount of people that used to go on my other live gonna be on here. Same amount of followers eventually. But yeah, this is what it is now. But yeah, like we was talking about, so a woman posted a video saying, my friend accidentally uploaded this video. And if you wanna see what I'm talking about, you can leave it live and come back. Go watch the video. I mentioned what I'm about to say now. The lady mentioned how her friend uploaded the video to the wrong story. It was supposed to go to her regular story, but it went to CF. I didn't even know what the hell that is. That's how these motherfuckers are sneaky. I didn't know what CF is, but then I seen somebody say close friends. I'm like, oh shit. Imagine you in a relationship and your partner not even your close friend. See, I didn't even know that, but I'm post about that later on my TikTok. These motherfuckers are so sneaky. They didn't talk about that part. She posted it on the wrong story. Like, what? Even if it was private, I thought it was just private. That make it better that it's close friends. Cause how you sleeping with a man that's not your friend? How you sleeping with a woman that's not your friend? But then the whole point of the video is the man broke up with her because it was another man that was on the trip with her. It's supposed to be a girl's trip, but she was with another man, clearly. Put his arm around her neck, gave her a shot. The same way you would do if that was your girl. Like I picture me in a relationship, even though I am, right? If a dude did that to my girl, she would be single too. Especially if she took the shot, you're done. So people try to gaslight the situation and act like motherfuckers just tripping and something's wrong with you, with y'all insecure or sensitive. Nobody care about that shit. Once we think you a cheater, you dirty to us, motherfucker. You think we care about what you gotta say? You can talk shit all you want on the internet. That's what I remember a girl did that to me. Well, I caught a motherfucker doing the dirtiest shit. And then the person would try to play victim on the internet. And I'm just like, nobody care what you think at this point. I think the worst of you, and I'm so real, I'm not even gonna post it because I can make you look crazy. But that's why, you know, people like us, man, we just too real to stoop to that level. We done. We not playing games with you. I see all the people in the comments. Like I said, that shit got almost 4 million views. So it's a lot of people trying to justify that shit. Y'all tripping. Y'all are insecure. Tell me where the cheating happened at. I mean, you know what? I just gotta. I told this one girl I gotta respond like I would do if I was that dude, because I would do the same shit he would do. I would break up with her ass too. And if I break up with you, I'm not trying to hear nothing, and I'm not finna explain myself to you. You don't get that privilege no more, motherfucker. I don't care about what you think no more, and that's what people don't get. And that's why I love this video, because not even because of the views, but because of the content. Because people going through this shit every day, and nobody never talked about cheating this much. Nobody never seen these many people justify cheating. And so now you can see exactly what the fuck you're getting yourself into before you get into it. Somebody asking a question, where was the cheating at? Okay, now I know you a sneaky motherfucker that I would never trust. That's all that is. Don't respond to them. But I'll let them know, just for the sake, you know, hopefully you just naive and you don't really know better. But some of these people really know what they doing. In reality, y'all just know. Y'all in y'all whole stages, I don't even think that's a real thing. But you just want to be able to manipulate people, unless there's a person you really want to be with, right? But I wanted to tell this girl, because she commented, how is this cheating? I'm like, y'all clearly just never been with somebody that you love for real. Be with somebody that you love for real and do that shit. But they also got to have confidence. I guarantee you they gonna leave your stupid ass. Why? Because in that same video, it's a lot of women who disagree with that lady just letting that shit happen. So a man with confidence like myself, we know, like, look, I know I'm not tripping, because I wouldn't do that shit to you. You can call me insecure all you want to, but I know it's women who wouldn't do that shit, just like how I wouldn't do that shit to them. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave your goofy ass for one of them, and I don't care what you think about it, because we over here happy together. Matter of fact, that's literally what my life is like right now. Last girl was doing all this shit right behind my back or whatever, and I guess she thought because I was still around that she was just getting away with some shit, right? That shit never happened. The whole time I was plotting my getaway, and I promise you, once I was gone, man, it was the best feeling in the world, because what I wasn't willing to do, and this is what I encourage people to do, if you in a situation, somebody cheating on you, and you live with them, don't just leave. Don't put yourself in a bad situation because you just so fucked up about what happened. I'm gonna tell you what to do, because this is what I did. I got my mind off of that shit, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm definitely done mentally. So what I did was, I started planning my escape. I wasn't willing to take 3 steps back. Even though I could have, I had people that could have helped out. I wasn't willing to take 3 steps back. So when the time came, what I did is, I got me a crib ready and everything, and I just packed up all my shit, put it in my car, and I went to work. And the person asked me, like, oh, you leaving? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to work. Basically, but the whole time I left and then never came back. Literally, never came back. But the thing is, though, once the shit got better, I end up focusing on myself. My music started to work finally. I started doing TikTok. That shit started to work. But then I met my girl that I'm with now. It's been almost 2 years, right? But like I said, this is what we do, though. People can talk all that shit. Oh, you insecure, you sensitive. Nobody care about that shit. I'm gonna leave your dumb ass for somebody who just like me, because it's about matching energies, right? That's what everybody say. So keep that same energy when it's time, right? So this is what I did. I'm in the best relationship I ever been in my life. I'm on my way to my girl right now. This shit feel like going to heaven every day. God damn, it's amazing. This is what it's about, and this is why I be trying to make my videos and tell people, like, listen, man, whether you a cheater or you get cheated on, whether it's intentional or not, this ain't the way to live, and this ain't what you got to go through if somebody do want to do that to you. You can find somebody who think just like you. You ain't got to put up with nobody bullshit, and you only get one life, so don't fucking waste that shit with somebody, because they will definitely waste it. And especially if you get a kid, oh damn. I be looking at people with families, people like men who get women pregnant, or women who get pregnant by men they don't want. Man, you waste people one life, one opportunity to have a family and just stick with that family the whole time. That shit don't get to happen because people want to just be out here. They won't just let you go. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? You don't value this person, but you just won't let them go. But the real reason they won't do it is because they don't need to if you don't let them. If you hold on what they need to let go of, right? And that's a lot of times what needs to happen. You need to let go. They hold on. They not holding on. You holding on, and you need to let go. Because if somebody is a manipulator and you're gonna keep being a manipulator. I mean, manipulatee or whatever you said. Like I said before, if a person can rob the bank and keep saying, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. If they can say that and get away with it, you think they're gonna stop robbing the bank? No, it ain't no real consequences. I'm not getting life in prison. I'm not getting years behind this shit. All I gotta do is apologize. Get away with it next time by being smoother, being better. I'm sorry, baby. I promise I'ma change. I never believe that shit. Once you cross that line, that's it. That's why they call it the dating game. For real, because it's a line that you can cross. And once you cross that line in this game, you ain't supposed to be able to come back in as you please. We're not talking about somebody that just fall over the line and, oh, I fucked up. No, it's a certain kind of fuck up that don't happen. Certain fuck ups are intentional, like sleeping with somebody else, flirting with somebody else, letting somebody else put their arm around your neck when they give you a shot. Those are fuck ups that happen intentionally. So imagine if you watch any kind of sports, somebody intentionally playing on their team and they go out of bounds, knowing that it's about to be the other team's ball now or whatever. They did it intentionally. It's not like, oh, they fell over. No, you see this motherfucker like, I'm about to walk out of bounds. That's exactly what it is. It's no different. And so we got to stop playing games with people. I know right now, this shit is all over the place. It's supposed to be about the Matrix, but it's all tied in together. It all mean the same shit. Talk about the Matrix a little bit more before I go. It's basically like being woke. You know, people want to make it out. Where are you at? Where are you at that you want to make it out so bad? People talk about the Matrix. It's definitely real. But you want to make it out because you know you in that motherfucker. That's what it mean. Make it out. We say make it to the top. What does that mean? You at the bottom. You know you ain't supposed to be there. That's all it mean. I want to make it out. I want to make it to the top. What are we talking about? The Matrix. Out of the system that we know for a fact we in. But we so brainwashed, we be thinking like, damn, is this Matrix real? But it's like we still living it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know, we talk about it. We act like we know about it. But we still live in it. We still contribute to it. Because now it's not just about controlling us. Now it's about consumerism. I live in a house now, just used to live in an apartment. How many people would be looking at that apartment like, damn, that ain't shit? But then there's people I drive past that's homeless. When are people ever satisfied? Some people will look at this house like, damn, this ain't enough. I need a bigger house. And then some people with a bigger house will look at that like, so that's what it is. A lot of the times we just not satisfied because we think what's supposed to make us happy is stuff that we created, which is, you know, it's fun to play with. But what God created is where the real happiness comes from, like the earth and the life on it. And people don't understand that. So if you don't have no good relationships with people, if you don't have no good relationship with yourself, this is why you will see rich people still miserable. I see them all the time. I'm in a place where it's a lot of rich people. I'm like, why the fuck is this person still miserable? Why you got road rage in your fucking Bentley? You got the new G-Wagon. Why you still angry? You a doctor and you make all this money in the world. Why you still? Because they don't make you happy. Once it become your regular life, then it's like, oh shit, damn. That's what people don't get. Like the life we live right now, why you think broke people can still be happy? Because once it's your life, then what really matters is gonna shine through most of the time. You see what I'm saying? It ain't not to say you don't get tired of the same life and you want better, but it's some of the poorest people in the world are still happy because they're not affected by consumerism. And some of the richest people are still miserable. A lot of the rich people are racist still, miserable. Like, what are you doing? You still racist because your life has already been based around money. That's normal to you now. So now, like, your reality got to shine through. How you really feel about yourself is in the play now. And motherfuckers don't like that. So when you don't like yourself, what you got to do? I got to make myself feel better. How do I do it? Well, I got to make somebody else feel bad to make me feel more important. And that's what it is. But this has been real. This is only the beginning too. I'm coming back, I don't know, maybe today, maybe later. But you can catch me on live at least 30 minutes every day from now on. I'm going to try to move it up to an hour. And then also, I'm in a process. I got me a microphone. I got me the camera. I'm looking at some backgrounds that I need to get. But eventually, I'm going to start doing this on a camera, on a YouTube for real. Like on a real, like, desktop computer. Yeah, man, I'm finna go greet the family, you know. That gotta be the first thing I do. I can't be on live. Family first, you feel me? Like I said, if this was the end of the world, What people will focus on is what matters more than anything. So you can't forget that shit. They got us distracted. Don't forget that shit though. Subscribe to that YouTube. We already on here, but go ahead, subscribe right now. Share, like, all that shit.